Let me know when we're on.
Yep, one. You can do your intro.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Monaco Grand Prix for Inners Racing, Tier 2. The seventh, sorry, not the seventh installment, the sixth installment of Season 7, as we find ourselves along the harrowing streets of the Principality. A lot of people say that the race is won on a Saturday, and today it will be, as we have both qualifying and the event, the main event, the race on a Saturday evening. We have it under the lights as well. It's one of the crown jewels of racing, along with the 24-hour Le Mans and the Indy 500. Winning here is absolutely prestigious and something that anyone would want on their record. Concentration required to make sure we get to the end of the race for any driver is an incredible amount of concentration and separates the men from the boys. I am joined here by Apollo Pepsi as we watch some of the cars come out on the track for qualifying, seeing who we will have on pole and who has the best chance to win the event. How you doing, Apollo?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, so Monaco, Tier 3, thankfully had their race yesterday. They also got a stream thanks to Jono, who stepped in last minute to do that. From what I saw, it was a mess at the start, I think it was. Just a few crashes in Sector 3. Hopefully with the Tier 2 grid, we do not get crashes. But the first car on track will be Grandson Nips, coming around the final corner to start his run to the line. And now we got almost a full track of cars as one of the Red Bulls is in the pit lane. So on board Grandson Nips, running up to the casino corner. Get yellow flags for a bunch of cars trying to give each other space. Try holding in fourth, avoid the bump on the exit that can spin you around. Break at the barrier opening point. Get down to one. You can't want to drift the hairpins. For some reason, the quickest way on this track is to actually drift a car, not even drive it normally, into the tunnel section for Grandson Nips. British Kane avoids the inside wall. Now that inside wall, that will be a tricky one for drivers because that is an easy wall to hit with your rear tyre, especially trying to open up the corner. We get a purple sector 2 for Grandson Nips as he is the first car on track. Through the final two corners at Monaco, probably the best qualifying track, probably worst race trim track. Sets a 1:11.2 for the first time, and I believe we got a McLaren of Domo. No, he's on an outlap. Who's next? Might be
Looks like it's a Williams, I believe.
Looks like it's.
Oh no, it is an Alpine.
Alpine at Cali goes quicker by 5/10, and Haydo quicker than 6/10. So Haydo almost into the 9s already. Was you start to get a lot of P9
and on just on cue.
On cue for 9. We might be in the high 8s by the time qualifying finishes. This is gonna be great.
I was talking to one of my drivers before the race a couple hours ago, and we were kind of discussing, assuming that high 8s would probably be the pole time, but I think that might be beaten depending on how this goes, as the track can only ramp up from here.
This goes for he crossed the line 10-3, goes 5th fastest behind Haydo. Mertz reserving for a Red Bull a 10.2, beating the Aston Martin driver, sitting right behind the Hato in the Merc. So we got eBay Boy coming to the line. He's invalidated, so he'll be going again.
Shelmore right behind him, and he puts it P12.
Sheldon coming out the final corner to the line. This is his second lap as he invalidated the first one. Does a 10.4 P7, puts in front of Cali. So we're starting to see gaps, especially a P1 to P2 gap as the Sauber or PIL. Ludo puts a P2, 4/10 back from the letter P as yellow flag for one of the Red Bulls. Is that Mertz getting out of the way?
Yep, that is Mertz stuck after, I believe that's Portier.
eBay Boy was on the fly. He's just exiting the chicane. Coming up to the swimming pool chicane. Gotta love that camera angle though. See how fast they go over the curbs.
Absolutely. It's also a very tough stretch of the track. Not for actual technicality, but you just hit anything wrong on there, and the rear of the car steps out and into the wall it goes. Split the car in half like Mick did in 2022.
Oh, eBay Boy sits in P9 with a 10.6. We got Ash, who's usually commentating with me, but he's decided to do Tier 2 reserve drive today. So we'll see how Ash does. I believe he's trying to get rid of most of his assists that he's using. I believe he's got no OBS and no TC now. As we have just
under 12 minutes left in qualifying. What do you think the full lap time is going to end up being? Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Mid-8, maybe. Because it's a 9.1 of Banker. You believe a mid-8 would be suffice for pole. So we only got 2 drivers left to do laps. Scotty, who's currently on 1, Crispy, still in the pit lane. Last week he wasn't able to qualify because he did get a qualifying bug where he couldn't leave the pits for some reason. Now, that was an interesting bug to read. But, oh.
Interesting bugs. Oh.
Ash turned in sideways. That is not a great spot, my friend.
Definitely not. Not even the marshals can help him there with all the cars coming around.
And he's missing half of his wing. As Scotty is getting a lot of traffic.
The Alpine getting out of the way. Well done. Scotty goes P12 with a 10.78. Right in the middle of the pack as we have 19 drivers for tonight's race. Crispy still in the pits, the only car not to set a lap yet so far.
On board with Cali at the moment as he is on his flying lap. Basically every driver in the first sector, so it makes the getting out of the way miserable for them.
I was saying, bit of a pain. Cali 3.5 tenths down on his previous, or up on his previous lap. Excuse me.
So Hato did do another lap. He did improve to a 9.5. I just didn't see it. As Dark End improves to a 0.5. Cali improves to a 0.9. Puts a P7. So we're starting to see drivers go a bit quicker as letter P goes even quicker. Almost into the 8th. We're almost there.
Trying to find who the next driver is on a lap.
Ludo's on a
pretty sure.
Battle Cat looks like he's on a lap.
It,
No.
m- it might be. Nope, Scotty just would abandon it.
Let's see if Jerobot is on a lap. Surely, let's go Jerobot is on.
He just started his.
Let's see the sector 1 time. He's a tenth and a half up, so they'll put him around P6 at the moment. As we got a yellow flag for Haas just getting out of the way at the chicane, qualifying a bit of a mess for especially 20 cars.
Even in game, these cars are too big for this damn track.
As McLaren pulls over side sector 1, let's one of the Red Bulls goes through. That's Mertz. He's back out on track for an outlap. No, that's Ludo. As Jerobot, he did purple sector 2, but he's invalidated just before swimming pool chicane. That is an F. He should have the fuel to go again, but let's see what time he does. I'm interested. He does a 9:152, so he would have been P2 with it. So that's just heartbreaking to invalidate. As Ghost Rider, he's crawling into pit, so he's not on the fast lap. Ludo, I think he's on the fast lap into the final 2 corners. That opened the DS all the way to the line. What was he able to do? He goes pole. We're into the
8-8. 8-8 is provisional pole at the moment, and we still have 7 minutes before this track is at its peak.
I think Tyrone, he's got damage, so he's not on the push lap.
Crispy's still in the pits.
Okay, so next driver is Mertz across the line, unless... Yeah, no, it is Mertz.
I think Ashton is, unless... Oh no, never mind. The time doesn't line up.
I think he's just starting a lap now, because he did a 15.5, so he might just be starting. I believe he just clipped the wall at turn 1, so I don't know if he got damage. On board with Mertz. Oh, out of the chicane, coming to sector 2 line. Let's see how far up he is. He's down on his time, so it looks like he's on another warm-up lap. So we jumped to Sheldon, who's right by. I didn't see the time. Sliding out of that swimming pool chicane. That is not somewhere you want to be drifting.
I wonder if Danny Rick did his splash into the pool again. A little slick coming out of there.
Sheldon P13 and 10 free sits behind both Red Bull drivers as we jump onto Ashton. He's invalidated and he's also hit the wall. So we're jumping.
Gearbot might be on. He is on a hot lap. He's half a second up on his previous lap.
And thankfully, Ashton cut the chicane to get out of the way quicker. As Jerobot through the final corner, a bit of a slider from the rears, not wanting to comply to the line, a 9.6, so about 3/10 lost since sector 2. As Tetris is coming to the line, looks like he's on another warm-up lap as Donwa just started as well. One of the Astons is starting a lap, I believe that's Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider, the only Aston currently at the event.
So Mertz did 2 warm-up laps. He's invalidated the lap he actually wanted to do, so he's going to have to come in again for a new pair, or he's going to continue actually. He's going to go for another run. I believe you get at least 3-4 laps of fuel, even on minimal fuel, to do your laps, as one of Mercedes almost collides with the Red Bull coming out of the pit lane.
The track is so short and kind of stop-start for a fair portion of it that it's just not that much on fuel.
On board Tetris, he's only 17 thousandths up on his time. He's coming up to a Mercedes who's pulling into the pit. That's Jerobot. He might be able to get out for one more run, as the Aston of Ghost Rider backed out of his lap last minute, Tetris improving in front of his teammate now. Looks like Ludo is out on a flying lap. So Mertz will be the next car to set a lap, as Ludo and Ghostfire just started another one.
Mertz is 3/10 up on his previous lap. If he can avoid a slide, he's got some really good time. He's got a decent time coming. At least a 9.8 if he keeps up with the pace he's got.
The final corner doesn't use the exit curb to the line. 9.8 as you predicted. P8 for the Red Bull driver. On the Mercedes, I believe that's Hato coming across the line to start as a lap. It's Tyrone, he just finished his lap. I was trying to find him. As Barricade also finishes his lap as well. So Barricade up to P5, Tyrone up to P15 with his time. Now we're getting into the dicey part of qualifying where I'm not going to be able to keep track of the drivers.
It is going to be a rough one to try and figure this out.
Dunmore 2/10 improvement but stays P17. Ludo invalidated his lap, but it comes across the line with a damaged wing, so he will not be improving his time. So he will stay with an 8.8 as Little Sheldon runs over that debris from the Sauber with an invalid lap. He starts his lap.
Hato is currently on a hot lap, but he might be... I don't think he's boxing.
Ran some nips next car across the line, and we got one of the horses. I don't believe I know which horse. I might actually know.
Grandson not gonna get a decent lap in on that one.
It's Tyrone. He's doing another lap, but he's just starting in front of one of the Red Bulls as eBay Boy completes his lap for 9.8. Sits right by his teammate, so kind of Red Bull sharing the same role as each other. As we've got more drivers starting their laps. I believe Battlecat, he's starting one more lap on for this occasion. He's on his recharges on, so I'm not quite sure. Ludo, he's still trying to improve a broken wing.
Sheldon just completely messed up the exit of swimming pool and overshot his braking. Put his car into a wall. I wouldn't be surprised if there's at least end plate damage.
As Ludo showing, he wasn't able to improve. Medi-AU is not near the end, but it's letter P coming in through the final corner. Is he able to take pole position? He improves to a point
8.2.
So we've gone
Lord.
We've gone even faster.
Hato just coming through on Anthony Norges.
As Hato to the line.
Oh, but he's on a slow lap.
Hato just starting his lap. We got one of the Alpines, I think, just starting. Is that Ashton to the line? No, it's Scotty to the line. He's just started, I believe. Yeah, so we're getting to the point where everyone is starting their final runs. One of our Saubers is coming out of pit lane.
That is crispy.
As Ash,
for whatever reason, coming out right now.
Ash on his final run, not able to improve as he's invalidated straight away out of turn 1. So we jump to Little Sheldon. He's invalid, but he's 1.3 up on this time. I just want to see what time he's able to do. A 9.2, that would have put him P3. So that's...
Darken and...
who's next? Darken
the next car to come across. Only a 10.5 up on his time as he clatters the wall outside, coming out of the swimming pool.
I don't know if letter P's on the fast lap. He might be on the fast lap as well, just behind. So Darken Shadow to the line, goes P3 with a point
9.3.
As letter P, he wasn't on the fast lap, but it's Scotty behind, going 6/10 faster. This will put him in the top 5, and he goes 4 fastest.
9.4 is Ashton, I believe, is going to be the next car across.
Yeah, as
on a slow lap.
Hato, he's pulled in the pits. He's called it quits. He wasn't able to improve.
So that is our qualifying order right there. Letter P with a 8.250. Ludo 6/10 behind him with an 848. Or an
Yeah,
848. My apologies.
and some people in Czech flag and Housey and chat are shocked at that time. That's faster than tier 1 TT times.
I
I
guess
believe qualifying for Monaco might be a bit quicker than TT. I'm not too sure. But letter
I
P,
think it's hit or miss.
it depends on your driving, I think. But letter P takes P1,
Yeah.
followed by Ludo, Dark and Shadows, and Scotty with amazing lap at the end to put him fourth. And then we go Hato, Battlecat, Jerobot, Tetris, Mertz, and eBay. And then we have the rest of the grid. Crispy probably had the same glitch again this week. The only constructor to share one row is Red Bull in 9th and 10th at the moment. So we'll see if there's any team orders from the Red Bull team off the start line.
You could assume so, but 9th and 10th, it might just be. I think the only orders might be play it safe and think about the end game here. Especially with lap one around here, it is probably the most intense lap one you'll ever have. It's all the cars bunched up and getting into Mirabeau after Casino Square, and then the hairpin.
One of the spots for lap 1 collisions is definitely the hairpin because of the checkup that corner produces, since it's such a slow speeds corner and it's basically a 90-degree corner. Oh, not 90, it's a 180. You're basically pulling.
Pretty much. The turn radius is stupid tight, so it's going to be really hard for the drivers to be even remotely quick around there
So
if you're not front row.
we're going green, 3 lights. Looks like everyone's on the medium tire. Letter P on pole against Ludo. Who's going to get the better start? Looks like it's all even. Dark and Shades looks like he's going to try and go up the inside. Looks like Hato going past Scotty at the start. One does fries around.
And there's a Ferrari around. It's Battlecat. Creates a logjam up after that.
The
Battlecat down.
championship leader gets into another collision at the start of the race. And that's his whole
Oh, what
win.
a shocking start.
That has called most of the drivers out. Battlecat's
And
got
Mertz. Oh, Myrtle. Oh, poor Mertz.
Battlecat with
Oh,
damage, Jerobot damage. Sheldon went into the escape road, so he's lost more positions. Crispy's got damage. It looks like Callie's got damage, trying to let Sheldon go, but Sheldon doesn't want to go through.
Yep. Do both of the Alpines have damage? I think so.
Yeah, it looks like both Alpines have damage, so this is a terror for the Alpine team. Mertz has no front wing at the back. He's looks like he's hit the wall, actually. As,
And now William wants to join.
William joins as soon as the race starts.
Oh. That's kind of unfortunate for Mertz, but he kind of, I hate to say it, he did it to himself. He had a couple of cars checked up into Casino Square with, I believe it was a McLaren and a Sauber maybe? I'm not entirely sure, but he just pretty much went full speed and broke and locked up into it.
So we're still under VSC. It's just gone green. DRS enabled for these drivers. So drivers in the pit lane are kind of relieved, or not the pit lane, but drivers on track are relieved that it's already green flag running. Mertz has already called it quits, so his sorries for the Red Bull driver who qualified P9. Got caught in an instant. His teammate eBay Boy got past all the instants into the chicane for the first time on green flag running. Letter P already stretching out advantage to 8/10, almost a second already to Ludo, who's almost out of DRS. Scotty's already out of DRS with Tetris behind us. It looks like eBay Boy's struggling a little
Callie
bit.
with the penalty already.
I
wonder if that penalty is due to issues with the rest of the car, potentially floor and side pod damage.
It looks like he has damage because he cut the chicane and hit the wall, so he's definitely having a pit now. As he Callie into the pit lane for his pit stop. Yeah.
Our driver in P1 currently, letter P, already has a 1.1 second lead over Ludo, who's got a couple of cars right behind him, and then it's a few smaller gaps behind.
As Purple took the one for letter P as he's extending that advantage over Ludo, who's trying to keep up. Dark and Shadows. Thankfully, this week, his wheel did not lose force feedback, so he's able to continue racing. Look, Hato's out of DRS contention. He's just got back into it just before the braking zone, but he might just lose it now.
Although he did cut the corner there a little bit to try and come back into it. Might have thought eating the warning then might have been the best way to do it. Scotty's fallen off the back of this leading pack a little bit.
Ozzy and Shad, who's won the Tier 3 Red Bull drivers, just letting us know that Hearts can go basically until the end of the race from now. So I'll pull up the tire there. So we got about 5 drivers on Hards. Ghost Rider, who started the Hards at the start of the race, he's in P9, sitting behind Grandson Nips, about 1.2 seconds behind. But he's not losing time to Matty that fast. As I say that, he's lost about a tenth as Grandson Nips going down the inside of eBay Boy. Side by side into the hairpin. This is the worst place.
Oh.
There's a good yellow flag at the back. It looks like Callie probably hit the wall again. He's got 10 seconds for spin and pit lane. No, this
Callie might be calling it.
This might be a call to stop. Yeah,
yep.
Callie.
Oh, and down the inside into Nouvelle.
As we got.
He had to force eBay off though. He's gonna.
We have
Is he trying to
Ash around in the tunnel. That is
right at the entrance of it.
That is very far off the corner, so that's interesting how that one's happened. Yeah, as Grandson Nips, he's made the move on eBay Boy.
I wasn't on board with eBay, but it might have been that he pushed him off and put him into the runoff at Nouvelle. So it might be one of those where he got lucky with the VSC.
I think Ashton's actually hit the wall.
He has.
Oh my god, Battlecat almost got collected. Oh jeez, that would have been disaster.
Crispy lucky that his car was gone then.
We only had one driver to pit under safety car. That was Matty AU. He's gone to the hard, so he's probably looking at the stream chat. He probably saw the message from Aussie saying that Hearts can do the full race distance.
Yeah, it's unfortunately this track not only does it not suit racing well completely, but it also kind of minimizes the strategy.
Dark and Shadow went to pass Ludo, and I don't know what happened if Dark and Shadow was in front. I don't think he was, but he cut the chicane. In my opinion, he has to give that place back. He overtook off track.
Could have been possible that Ludo was just going a little too slow, and
I don't think Grandson Nips wants to give this one back, so this might be a report later on in the evening. Yeah, it looks like we got safety car glitch in Monaco. It looks like the safety car doesn't want to come out because I believe the crash for Ashton should have brought one out. Apparently it didn't for some reason.
it's potential.
Currently 16 drivers left of the 19 running. We lost 3 drivers within the first 5 laps.
Yeah, Myrtle kind of put himself in harm's way and wasn't having it anymore. Callie, who had a couple of run-ins with some walls and some limits, and I'm pretty sure it was not worth it to continue on there. And Ashton, who probably, from what I could see on the minimap, misjudged his braking with damage to his car and just sent it into the wall, if not maybe a lockup into the wall.
I know that Mark, the race engineer that everyone gets, tells you not to send it to lap 1, but it looks like some drivers didn't listen, especially back half of the grid, because I think it was P11 down all got into a collision at the back, and only a few avoided.
I think that collision was just because of Battle Cat getting turned though. Either he got a little too trigger happy on the gas, or
He
he might have got tagged
hit,
from
he got
behind.
hit by another car. I know he got hit by another car because someone would try to go down his inside when he had someone on his outside at the same time. So I'm not sure.
Oh, trying to fit in 3 into 1, and the math doesn't math there.
Let's try more fit 3 into a corner that shouldn't even fit 2 cars. It fits 2 cars on the exit, but the entry is you can't even fit 2.
Yeah, I guess the entry is just a slight bit kink, so it's kind of hard to get 2 cars in with a straight line and being able to take it at high enough speed to have a decent lap. We do have grandson nips right on the back of Tetris though as they come down the main straight, with them not too far behind Scotty and Haas. As Tetris has a bit of a slide coming out of turn 1, and that opens up grandson nips for a run up to Casino Square. Has to get out of the gas a little bit and set up as he might look for the inside, but Tetris covers it off for the moment, but opens the door back up and grandson nips is there. Oh, Tetris just cuts the door off again and puts himself back into a controlling spot for P6.
As you were looking at that fight, we have had 2 people in the pit lane. So we had Ghost Rider and Little Sheldon both in pit lane for wing damage. So Ghost Rider onto the medium tire. Probably will be pinned again. I believe he just got a unfair penalty for leaving pit lane. So that probably will be asked for removal later on in the race if it benefits him. At the moment, he's got Crispy on the rear of Ghost Rider at the back. As grandson Nips is pushing Tetris through the final 2 corners.
Yep. That penalty for Ghost Rider was crossing the line. It was legal to do so.
Oh, as they go side by side, we saw this in real life.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, luckily he didn't get put into the wall. Grandson Nips was close. We saw that in real life with Perez and Hulkenberg, and that ended with both Haas's out, with the Red Bull sustaining a lot of damage.
It had to be lifted up in the air, and everyone could see the underbody of that quick car on the circuit, albeit not in the hands of Checo.
I think it was Crick in Monaco because I was complaining about the bumps all weekend.
You know who isn't complaining of bumps right now? Grandson Nips. He is on a charge.
And, he's got
as far back as he kind of is.
He's got Scotty and just in front of him who's holding P5. He wants to make work of getting past as quickly as he can to get back up to the lead 4 that was in a little train behind Darkham. Looks like Hato has dropped off a bit. eBay Boy's into the pit lane. He's gotten damage to his wing, so I'm not sure where he picked that up. Little Sheldon, 10-second penalty for cutting the corner. That would have been probably the chicane.
That's definitely new. Oh, and he's left the session now.
I believe that might have been his game crashing. As let a piece out.
Let a piece out.
Oh,
and Crispy's out too. What? Oh, Crispy's retired in track in the pit lane, but
I said this in qualifying. That wall will be an issue. He hit it with his rear and hit the wall. So Letter P is out of the session. That has put Dark and Shadow, the RB in P1. His teammate currently in P5, so with the pace that RB has, this could be a 1-2 finish.
I'd hate to say it, but it's looking very likely right now. The only thing that sucks now is that it's kind of taken out the strategy window, and all these top cars on mediums can get onto the hards, and it's now just on track, which if you know how to make your car as wide as Alonso did in 22 at Silverstone, you're in a good spot.
Oh, it looks like Grandson Nibs. He just got beaten by Tetris, so he's gonna have to re-overtake the Ferrari.
Ooh. You get held up there with unsafe release?
I believe he got held up with Hado again, unsafe released into him, because I believe that Red Bull or RB had to hit the brakes. It sounded like he hit the brakes. Well, this is just going to compact everyone, and we're going to have an issue at the hairpin again where the biggest checkoff of mankind is going to happen.
Yep, I think the only saving grace for it now, though, is that you have cars in a single file line and not coming from a standing start, so they might be able to get in.
This is interesting why Ludo was losing so much time to letter P. Ludo is carrying end plate damage.
Is he?
He's missing his right end
Oh,
plate.
he is!
And he's decided not to fix it for track position.
I don't blame him, but I'm surprised he didn't fix it there under safety car. He would have lost maybe 4 positions at most, I'd say.
Would have been for track position. As a Devastator points out, his driver Domwell up 10 spots in Monaco. That is
good lord.
That is a drive and a half. As I think
Maddie's up 8.
Someone's hit the wall on safety car or got stuck. I think Scotty was against the wall and couldn't move, and it kind of just forced everyone to stop moving. So this lap, safety car should be in this lap, hopefully.
Maddie and Domwar have changed spots now.
Yeah, so Domwar, Maddie did overtake
now they're back.
Domwar because of the check.
Now they're back.
Yeah, so biggest gainer basically is Domwar with 10 spots. Biggest loser, letter P, but he did crash out. He's down 14.
On track, the biggest loser is Battle Cat.
On track, biggest loser is Battle Cat for the turn 1 collision that will still be haunting him.
And especially if it's contact from a car behind, it's nothing he can really do. It's unfortunately it's kind of the way the circuit kind of puts itself there. I'm lost for words for a moment. You're trying to figure out what I'm trying to say, but the way it lends itself to that corner, it doesn't allow it to be
I'm just gonna look at tier 2
as open as it needs to be.
We're looking at tier 2 stands as well on the safety car. So currently Battle Cat is leading 106 points over Matty AU. So who's on 85, and then Carly's on 62. Letter P's on 53. If he won this race, he would have gotten a heap of points on the championship. He's currently P6 in championship at the moment. And with all the drivers that are currently survived, he's gonna get jumped by quite a few, as we're about to go green flag running at Ludo. Oh, Ludo's hit the wall, and Dark Ender saw that. He's already gone. Oh, it's misery.
It is just not there for Ludo now. Especially with that end plate damage, it's just a matter of time before Ado gets it.
So Ludo making a small mistake, second last corner. He got stuck on the wall like a few drives were again, stuck on at safety car restart. He's already lost about 9/10 of Dark and Shadow. Looks like Grandson Nibs, he was trying to make a move on Tetris. It looked like they went side by side briefly as eBay Boy, he's gotten overtaken by Ghost Rider and Tyrone. So Tyrone constantly got damaged. The safety car did save him from the lap 1 incident, so now he's back in the fight for more points. Looks like Ludo's able to catch back up at Darken, so Darken not pushing the car as much as he can at the moment. He's probably just trying to fill out the tires as Hado is...
Yeah, and I agreed there with the tires as well. It's also, like we mentioned before, this track just doesn't lend to overtaking very well unless your name is Grandson Nips for some reason. But it's just make your car as wide as it can, and nobody can really pass it. So he might just be trying to babysit those tires to the end.
Yeah, so Ludo, he was 1.2 seconds off the safety car restart. He's already gained that back up. He's actually dropping Hado behind. So Hado at the moment not in the DRS of the top two. Scotty, he's 2 seconds back off Hado. But Grandson Nips, he's all over the back of Tetris. And you believe Grandson Nips will be furious at that safety car because he overtook Tetris just before and he has to do it again.
Yep. Although I've been watching this battle closely for the last 5 or so laps, and Grandson is running a bit tighter lines than Tetris is. So, as we say that, he's dropped off a little bit behind Tetris, but he's been able to bring himself right up to the back end of Tetris by keeping lines and getting better acceleration as he takes the wall there.
Ludo a little bit. Oh, was Battle Cat's around? And
Oh no.
That looks like a reset. I might just seen a reset the track.
He's got left end plate. He has left end plate damage. I wonder if he tagged that. Either tag the outside wall after S-cast, or touch just that little part of the wall that juts out after turn 19.
I believe I saw a reset the track by Battlecat last corner, just switching on the last second. As Grandson Nets, he was all over the back. I was looking at a meme map. The dots were basically like overlining each other. Oh, he's getting super close on the breaking way. He's almost hitting Tetris.
Ghost is on the back of Gearbot down for P9.
As Battlecat, even with the damage, he's overtaking Sheldon, who would be an AI at the moment. Sheldon, if you're in chat, let me know when you're back on a game and I'll send you an invite to the lobby. As it looks like Ghost...
I'd offer up to do it, but I don't have him added on anything.
Ghost Rider on those mediums. Ghost Rider didn't pit, mind you, so he's got 3 laps extra on those tires.
Got the pace, but it's not going to have the life at the end of it. I wonder if he might be looking for a soft at the end, but cars are too packed up for that to even matter at this rate. Ludo sticking onto the back end of Dark End. Dark End Shadows up here, even with that right end plate damage.
I wonder if Dark End Shadows at this point in the race, he's just been told to manage his I thought Ludo just got a pen for the chicane, but it was Ghost Rider. Grandson Nifs also got a penalty.
Grandson,
well.
yep. But he is around Tetris. That's big for him.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Dark End Shadow's just been told by his team principal to manage his pace, just keep Ludo behind, but as Matty AU, he's around at the last corner. Just manage the pace, keep Ludo in DRS, but don't let him pass, kind of pace.
Yeah, oh, he touches the wall out of Mirbo there.
That's interesting. Sheldon's AI drove into the side of Matty, and Matty gets the pen. Oh boy.
This game is certainly not broken by any means. Yeah, I definitely think that Darken, though, is definitely being told to manage, because he's got, unless it's floor damage, I don't think he's got any damage from anything. And we know Ludo has
his
end plate
teammate
damage.
Grandson this out of the session, I saw that! Oh, he's hit the wall! He's hit the... he's hit the wall that sticks out at the chicane. This is a virtual safety car. Do we have anyone that's wanting to pit? The top 3 stay.
Newville has claimed its second. Its second victim of the event.
Does Tetris come in because he's got that wing damage? No, he stays out. Does Dumbo come in? No, he stays
No, he
out.
does not.
Looks like everyone's opting to stay out under the VSC and not get a new tire.
Nope, Gearbot's in.
Oh, we got one pitter.
Gearbot is in.
And
What does he go on to?
looks like medium tire.
He's on to, yep.
We also
it's
got
medium
Battlecat
tires.
in. Sorry, this actually says Battlecat because he has wing damage.
It is only a VSC though, so it's gonna be not. It's gonna be a smaller time. Oh, and they're back to green already. I was about to say though, that's a smaller time loss than green flag, obviously, but not doing that under a full safety car just kind of screws them over a little bit.
Now I'm being told that Ludo's end plate damage could be a visual glitch from Devastator. He's just. It might be a visual glitch considering how much pace he has, but we don't know if Darkin is pushing the car. He might not be pushing it, so I'm not sure if it's a visual or they're just managing the tires because they're gonna have to take these tires another 20 laps.
Which is doable from what everyone's been saying, but still, the mention of visual glitch does seem a little bit feasible now that I'm listening to the car more as they're going around, and he's not lifting where you'd expect him to lift with right end plate. Like the end of sector 2 coming into the swimming pool, I'm not hearing a lift there, so it might just be a visual glitch.
So at the moment, 13 cars remain, 6 cars DNF'd, 2 of which have been at the same exact corner, the same way.
Chat's saying it might be the new Wall of Champions, and it very well could be.
I mean, I don't see anyone here in the Wall of Champions in Canada anymore, so that might be the new Wall of Champions.
It's got a reputation now. It took letter P out. Took Grandson Nips. Both of them have championship pace. It's whether they can capitalize on the pace.
As we're just ranting, Hado did get a 3-second pen, but he is clear of Scotty at the moment, so he's about 6 seconds almost clear of Scotty, so he should be fine.
Yeah, just a couple of tenths and it's full 6 to Scotty. So I'm looking at the tires right now. We have a couple of drivers in a bit of a dicey position with their tires. We got Tyrone with 18 lap hards on. And it's potentially go to the end.
Well, at the moment he's got the eBay boy all over his rear at the moment, going through every corner.
So no.
I jumped on the eBay boy and I saw his car doing the slide.
The cha-cha slide?
Yeah, his car was doing the cha-cha slide. He was going left and right. You just gotta put the music over and it'll fit perfectly.
Anybody got a clip of that? Might be able to make that work. Yeah, with eBay right behind him, that's definitely not gonna make the end. It might just be better for Tyrone, especially not having the penalty eBay does. Let him buy it.
I just watched Ludo hit the wall again. Out of turn 1.
Did it look like it was any damage coming off the car?
It didn't look like it, but I can tell you what time they are all basically.
Oh! Tyrone hit the wall!
Okay, Tyrone's hit the wall. How much damage? That is a lot of damage. He's definitely hit. I can tell you the pace that Ludo's traveling. I don't know the pace of Dark and Shadow. At the moment, they are going 1 second slower than the fast lap. So at the moment, they're doing like high 12, almost into the 13s. So currently, the time they're doing, it might be full push. I'm not sure because I haven't done any racing here since the last game, so I don't know what time to do. Or it's a save the tire time. As Ludo is gone drifting on the corner exit. Holy!
It's full push at the moment. It is full push at the moment, being that far, only being that far off the fastest lap of the race. They are on full push as Ludo hits the inside of Tyrone just now getting into the pits as Gearbot was on his backside. But the other driver I was going to mention for kind of a dicey position tire-wise is Ghost Rider on 14-lap mediums. Not really much of a decent spot to get in the pits and put fresh tires on towards the end of the race as Ludo gets 3 seconds. That 3 seconds to Ludo. He's only a second down on Darkened as he taps the wall coming out of the swimming pool section. How do you think that changes Ludo's mindset as we go into the final third of this race, as he gets quite loose out of turn 19 and onto that main straight?
Thanks for that. That's actually 1 second. I had to spend the last lap trying to find Sheldon on my friends list. I don't think he's online, so I can't send a friend invite to the session. In that time, Ludo did pick up a penalty. I believe that's a 3-second penalty, and he's already dropping it. So I wonder if the tires are because he's got end plate damage. I wonder if his front tires are going through that phase now where they lose a lot of pace, but they will pick up on the pace for later.
It's possible, and it could have been that because he's dropped off quite a bit now, relative to where he was. It could have been that they were just getting. He had a little bit of wiggle there out of Newville, but could it be that they're now too hot and he's trying to cool him down?
Could be. I don't know what the temp is like around here. I believe all drivers will still be running max pressures on their tires. For some reason, EA has messed that up, and apparently max tire pressures means cooler tires somehow. I'm not sure how that works, but
in the straights it makes sense, but around Monaco it's pointless to go max.
As eBay boy, he's pulled into the pits. He's getting a new front wing. Jerabo, he's coming around the final corner. He's on 5-lap old meds, so he's been traveling quite nicely. Battlecat is in a world of his own at the moment. Outstanding win in Japan, and then comes to Monaco, and he has a turn 1 collision.
From hero to zero in the span of round. And unfortunately, the zero part, not much on his end that he can.
Let me just check if Sheldon's on.
Not a problem. Our closest battle on track right now is Ghost and Domwar for P6. Everybody is roughly 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds off at minimum, but these guys are duking it out with 4/10 between them. As Domwar gets a bit of a wider line through the latter half of swimming pool, then has to have Ghost Rider check up behind him as they come out of turn 19 and on the main straight as the rear wing gets open for the Aston Martin. Definitely not going to be close enough to make a move as they get into St. Devoux.
Yeah, so Sheldon's still not online. I can't send him, but you wish you had that many friends on EA. It's probably not the best because I had to scroll for ages just to find one person. It's not fun.
You might be talking about in-person friends.
Because I was showing my EA friends list before, trying to get Sheldon. I have about 140 people to go through.
You know, like you said, he might just be comparing that to his in-person friends.
Who needs in-person friends? Just get online friends, he'll be fine.
Just get into a league. You'll have a great time.
Yeah, just get into a racing league and then you got a whole server full of friends.
Especially with common topics that you can talk about.
True. As Darkhand, he has extended that gap. He's now 3 seconds clear of Ludo. So at the moment, it looks like Ludo actually. I feel like he's hit the wall and gotten more damage because he's dropped off massively. Hato's actually catching him now.
Yep.
Shaker Flag, I believe he does have damage. He has that end plate damage on the right, but I believe he's starting to get damage on the left because he's dropped really far off Dark End.
Yeah, he might just be sticking it out now just for, like we've already mentioned, track position and making that car as wide as he can.
I feel sorry to Matty AU, but in a few laps time, we're about to see a Williams get lapped.
I wonder where we've seen that before.
What?
Definitely not the past couple of seasons. But.
Once he dropped out DRS, pace went. Yeah, this game DRS is really powerful. As Matty, he's pitted for soft tires, so I wonder if Matty's gonna try and do a fast lap attempt.
He might, and it gets him into clean air, so he doesn't have to worry about trying to get out of the way. And
yeah, as you say that, he's got a McLaren and an Aston coming through. He gets out of the way, I believe, just in time. We're kind of at that stage where there's only 13 drivers left and everyone's out spread out. There's nothing really to look at.
unfortunately, not. The closest thing we got on track is still the battle for P6 between the McLaren of Warren and the Aston Martin of Ghost Rider.
True. That's Darkin.
Darkin has a penalty.
Darkin has a penalty, so the top three all with a penalty. Now, if Scotty can push this, he can. Scotty can menace his way to a win if he pushes this.
But I wonder if Ludo just might have dropped off because he had the penalty and thought it wasn't futile anymore. But maybe with all of them have penalties, now you got to push to catch back up. Maybe.
Well, with his pace dropping anyway, it's allowed Hato to get back into DRS. They're currently going about 2 seconds slower than their fastest laps, which is like almost in the 14s now at this point.
Yeah, and Ludo has no end plates on this car now, so that front end is just going to be slipping and sliding.
Yeah, so Hato's going to have to be careful with how he gets around the Sauber because it's got sustained damage everywhere. If Hato gets past in time, maybe Scotty, who's a few seconds behind, might be able to catch up to Sauber and get that third place.
It's potential. Between the penalties.
That car did not like that. I heard that engine complain and braking as he hit second gear.
So this is a quick recap of the penalties that we have on the track. The top second. Then down to P7, Ghost Rider at seconds, eBay in 10 with 3 seconds, and then Lil Sheldon, we believe is an AI, still has 13 seconds of penalty.
Yes, one of them will be from a 10th second from cutting the chicane, I believe.
So Hato's still on the back end of Ludo coming into Mirabo now.
I know, just gonna have a look at Matt and see what he's doing. So, Matt, who wanted to do faster lap, he's currently not able to do so because he's got P7 and P6 in front of him, basically blocking him. He's out. He gets up on his lap and then he has to slow all the way down for these drivers.
Yeah, with the wear on their tires and having fresh softs, you'd have to assume that's at least 3 seconds worth of pace just in the tires.
Yeah,
if not more.
It'll be about as a Ghost Rider, he's hit the back of Domwa into the chicane. He's actually missing his end plate now. And Matty AU is pushing him. I'm
pushing him into the swimming pool.
I'm watching a Williams backmarker push Ghost Riders as Ghost Rider.
Who jumps into the pit.
Yeah, he goes into the pit. He's getting a new wing. He's letting Matty
Yep.
go.
Should only lose a position to Gearbot. And
Oh, as Hato switched at the right time. Oh, he went for the move on Ludo, but he's put them both in the wall. That's gonna be a report.
I couldn't switch to it fast enough. Is there damage?
Yeah, so Hato, he's now missing the end plate. Ludo's got more damage to his left side. He's missing more. That might be red.
Oh, he's just...
That might be red. He might have to pit for that. There's no way.
He looks like he's still got the car somewhat under control, out like into braking at least.
Nah. not for
Well, never mind.
Not for the middle sector. He couldn't turn.
Nope, he is struggling. He's having to get off the brake. You'd have to expect him to pit now.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep, and there he goes.
Losing to the pit.
So Scotty's menaced his way onto the pole currently.
And at the moment, if Ludo reports Hato for that, Scotty could get P2.
Scotty in a great position for all things considered. But you know who else is in a great position, all things considered? That man in the red car in P8, Battlecat.
Yeah. Devastator, you know what I wish for now is that someone else was doing the stream and just made that overlay come up.
Oh, don't even get me started.
That would be insane. That would be like...
You know what?
Top tier.
You know what? I think we need to get in talks with Tetris after this weekend and see how feasible that is.
We'll have to have someone stream share the Discord, Discord stream. You stream the Discord, which probably that shows that's a lot of issues in itself.
We might be able to manage that. We might be able to. It is very possible with how stuff turned out for
penalties, by
the
the
draft.
way, adds is all 3 seconds. Except Sheldon, who's got an extra 10 seconds to his name.
Although not really to any fault of his own.
So at the moment, Scotty's traveling nicely. He's actually almost within range of Hato if he... well, he is almost there. He's like 1.9 away, 2 seconds away from that 3-second pen. So even if Hato doesn't get pinned by Shorts, Scotty will still get P2 if he keeps up this pace. Looks like eBay Boy got past Battlecat. Battlecat's still on those 14 medium or old medium tires. It looks like... No, never mind. That's just my eyes playing trick with me. It looks like Battlecat had damage, but he didn't. Ghost Rider did set the fastest lap just then. I already
11.212, I believe.
Yeah, now we got Ludo on a new tire. Let's see if he's going quick. He's only 1/10 on his personal best, which will put him like a 0.8 at the moment. But currently, Dark and Shadows is running away with this race. 11, almost 12 seconds in front of the field.
Battlecat has an issue. He might have damage to the front of his car or something. He is not only dropped off the back of eBay by quite a bit now, but he is having a little bit of an issue controlling that car.
I believe it will be the tire age. About now. At this point for Battlecat, it's more of the fact just try to not hit a wall. This is damage control for the Ferrari driver at the moment for the championship.
Yep. Which, okay, never mind. Again, all things considered.
Broseph is telling me he has underbody damage apparently.
Oh no.
As Tetris, it's 3-second penalty. Oh, that hurts the podium chance for Tetris. This
I don't think it's...
This might allow Dumb War if he can get that time up to get into P4. Oh, this is great. Matty is still behind this McLaren. And the fact that Ludo's just gone done a 10-5.
Oh!
I don't know.
Ghost Rider and Battle Cat almost had a collision in the latter half of swimming pool.
Well, we're gonna have a fight for P5. Ludo's caught up to back of Domwar. He's not catching.
Maddie got out of the way. Oh!
I don't know what happened there. I think Dom hit the wall and it turned his car too much.
Yeah, Domwar got just too tight, and that rear right caught the inside of the wall.
I've done
a pass in the tunnel.
I've done the same thing. Ghost Rider just switched on at last minute. He gets the move. As soon as I switched off, Ludo gets the move on the.
Oh, there's a car on the wall at Mirabo.
Who's in the wall now?
Is that Tyrone?
That's Tyrone.
That was Tyrone.
He still got overtake active. He didn't get damage.
Yeah, there's no damage to his car, but that doesn't. Thankfully, it doesn't affect anything. VSC or anything that way.
One thing, Battlecat will be pleased with that because he was under threat from Tyrone.
Ludo, Domwar's falling off the back of Ludo after he's finally got around him, but he's still currently in range of penalty. But.
Well, at the moment, Scotty is traveling at a mega pace at the moment. I just watched him drift out just onto the entry of the tunnel. That was actually quite cool to see. That car control. Only 4 tenths away from Hado, who's up ahead, and he's got a McLaren in front. That is Sheldon, so I believe Hado lost a lot of time just trying to get past Sheldon as AI.
The thing is about this too is that gap between P1 and P2 between Darkin and Hado is that it might look like dominance from Darkin, but letter P just kind of fortunately threw it away with getting a little too risky into the chicane. Because he was kind of running away with it at the start too. He had, I think at the time he had his crash into the wall, he had about a 3-second gap to P2.
Alright, so Scotty again past Sheldon's AI. He actually caught Sheldon's AI at the perfect time to pass it. But,
and he's within that 3-second bubble now.
Yeah, he's within that 3-second penalty range, so Hado really needs to get a move on it if he wants to keep P2. Yeah, so letter P Binder at Novell chicane. Grandson Nips, who was leading before or just after letter P, he also did the same thing in Binder at the Novell chicane. So we might name the corner World Champions at this point.
Yeah, Harbor of Champions maybe.
Alright. There is no way, there's no way that Scotty is on a controller. I swear he has a rig. I'm pretty sure. There is no way he's on a controller and doing this. That is mad.
Grandson, if you really, or grandson, Jesus. Apollo, if you really want to know, it's definitely possible.
Oh, it's possible. I had a friend, who was on the controller, was able to beat every wheel driver pretty easily.
Yep, I have a couple of, I know I have a friend, I can't remember his username, but he is.
Rapid? No, he's not. Dead. No. I've raced with Aussie 2K, he is not on controller. Stop lying to me.
Yeah, controller, I've had a few controller people that I know be top like 500 on global leaderboards.
Aussie is generally on pad. I don't believe it. eBay boy just disconnected. So if I don't have eBay boy on EA. So
Maddie retired as Ludo gets around Tetris on the main
Maddie,
straight.
that is the most awkward spot. How have you done that, sir? You only needed to do 2 more laps, Matt. And you binned it. Oh, no.
Did he bin it or did he just retire?
He binned it.
Didn't look like he was damaged.
eBay Boys AI has decided to pit him onto softs, and he's lost a spot to Battle Cat, so...
He lost... Was it just a battle cat? I'm pretty sure he lost to the Gearbot and Ghost, too.
He did do it to Gearbot, and he did lose one to Ghost, but Ghost was on newer tires. He lost one to Battle Cat. He's gonna lose one to Tyrone.
Tyrone.
The worst thing is I can't invite him because I don't have him.
Unfortunate to say it, an invite really wouldn't do anything at this.
Yeah, it's final lap for Dark and Shadow, who's leading.
Yep.
I was high Rebel Crew near forgot the tires. Yeah. Oh no,
oh, Darkin binned
no!
it! Darkin binned it!
Oh my god! No way! He's done that on the final.
All he had to do was play it safe. He could have.
You know what this means?
He could have coasted.
You know what this means? If Scotty doesn't bin it, he's gonna win.
Oh my gosh.
There's no way that Darkhead has done that to me. I've gotta have a heart attack just from this race alone.
I have no words for what just happened.
And you know what's even funny? Ludo is still gonna get onto the podium.
Especially after that incident between him and Ado.
Yeah, actually, what's even more funny that Ludo might get P2 because Hado might get penned for it if it's reported.
So are we looking at a potential podium of Scotty, Ludo, and Tetris?
I don't think Tetris is in range. No, he's not.
Potentially with the penalty for
if it's a 10
what the extent of the issue was.
If it's a 10-second, Tetris would, but if it's 5, it won't. But Scotty crossed the line, he finishes first. Hado did finish first on track, but he's demoted due to the penalty. Ludo third after that contact with Hado at the front, then Tetris Dunward and Jerabot, who has... I don't know what the hell is happening to the rest of the grid. There's a lot of people hitting the wall, which you would expect because it's Monaco, but you don't think it will have this one. Ghost Rider drops below Battle Cat somehow. I don't know how that happens.
I think it's the amount of penalties. Yeah. I can't see just because they've already finished.
So yeah, Jerobot's 6th, Battle Cat 7th, Ghost Rider 8th. Battle Cat, after getting turned lap 1 and getting his extreme damage, he brought it home in 7th. That is great damage control from the Ferrari driver. But all the talk will be Scotty taking P1 after the crashes that have happened today.
I don't know what I've witnessed here.
I can't take this serious anymore. This track does not... I can't take the track serious when people race it, because that just happens. Now, I need someone who has access to Tier 2 to invite him to comms box, because I'm unable to do so for some reason.
Already on it, bud.
Yeah, Devastator, I agree with you. Ads has literally just watched everyone just bin the car.
What just happened? And that is why Battle Cat overtook Ghost Rider. It's a 9-second penalty in total for Ghost.
That makes sense. Hopefully the game actually loads and I can see the results, please. I'm not going to be able to see it. Oh, I got it. Never mind. We're good. So unlucky for the drivers at DNF, there was Grandson, Letter P, Crispy, Ash, Cowley, and Mert. I don't know what happened to Crispy, to be honest. I think he just pit and quit, but I'm not too sure. But Scotty with the win.
He did pit and quit.
Scotty with the win. This whole page is literally down to 13.
It's cursed.
I don't. Matt gets classified still on the results, so at least he gets. At least Matt gets some points. He still got classified. So we're just waiting on P1 to join, and then we will start interviews. We already got Ludo and Hater win, so we'll just wait for Scotty. And I'll do this since when we're doing interviews.
I'm sure you're celebrating in team chat right now, but
Stop. That's actually no. That is the wrong button. Give me a second. Showroom. Where's the house car? There it is. Actually, we'll do that way. As I think we got Scotty in now.
Scotty is in.
So if you wanna, wait, who was P3? It was Ludo, wasn't it?
It was Ludo.
Well, Ludo, if you're there, congrats on P3. Unlucky with the damage. We saw that you got damage, or you had damage after the safety car restart. You just want to let us know when you got that damage, because to be honest,
I had damage from the start of the race. I had a little bit of damage here and there from the whole start. From the start of the race, from like lap 4 onwards, I had damage. And then I just kept hitting walls, and it keep getting worse and worse the whole race. So just couldn't have the pace to keep up first. But then I just got that sent on by the Mercedes. That gave me red damage.
Well, you finished P3 in Monaco. Even after that contact, after dropping to I believe it was P7 after you had to pit for that damage, you still got P3. Just considering that people were binning it left, right, and center.
Yeah.
But yeah, P3 Monaco. How does it feel to be on the podium?
It's good. The pace I had at the end was unbelievable. I had such good pace. It was just so much fun. Like, without wing damage, it's just helped so much. And to get P3 around Monaco is even better.
Especially with the amount of damage you had and trying to keep that car under control.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. It was fun.
Well,
fun, he says, after controlling the car that looked like it was on water.
Joel, during the stream, you had your PRL boys cheering you on. I believe Ozzy came in, and then
yeah, and Danny did too.
Someone else came in, but it was on the PRL account. They were all cheering you on. Just unfortunate that you had the damage. You weren't able to keep it darkened, because I believe if Hato didn't give you damage, you might have been able to sneak away with a win, considering Darken binned on the last lap.
Yeah. Well, it's good to get P3, because last week in PRL I crashed out P2. So I get a P3 this week. Good.
Bit of a redemption arc, so to say.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Good race.
You got anything to add, Ray?
No, it was just a fun race. It was hard to control the car, but still fun.
Well, congrats on P3, Ludo, and hopefully we'll see you in more races. I believe, I don't know what next week is. I had to check the calendar real quick. Give 2 seconds. Next week we are going to Jeddah. That's I believe it's I believe it's a sprint as well. So
that's a good track for me too.
I believe we do. I'm not sure how the sprint qualifying works. Scotty, if you're here, do we do 2 qualifying sessions for a sprint or 1?
We'll confirm that with the admins, and we'll let everybody know in the Discord early next week in terms of how the sprint format will work.
There you go. Thank you. But anyway, sprint next week for Jeddah. How do you feel, Ludo, leading into it?
Really good. Probably a top 3 track for me. So I'm looking forward to it.
Anyway, congrats.
I love the fast corners.
Congrats on P3 again. Much deserved podium for that drive that you did towards the end. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, okay, see ya.
Now, Ray, if you want to do Hato.
It's just about to. Hato, our man, how you feeling after that chaotic thriller of a race?
Yeah, a little bit mad. But yeah, P2 is still good for the team and for the championship. So yeah, I guess we'll walk away with it.
Can't complain too much, especially after being tier 3 up to tier 2 the past couple of rounds.
Yeah, no, I can't complain much with that.
Take us through what happened with the incident between you and Ludo into Mirabo. What exactly happened there from your point of
So,
view?
so like the 3 laps before that, I was catching him pretty quick. And look, I was losing time to Scotty because every lap I was watching, I was pulling half a second through the middle sector. So I thought I'll make the dive here into Mirabo. I got it. I made the apex, and then he's just clipped my wheel and spun us both into the wall, and then I got wing damage from there.
Kind of an unfortunate coming together from an outside point of view. Did you get any damage from it?
Yeah, I did. I got yellow left wing damage.
That's definitely no good.
Yeah,
Um,
no.
What what was your mindset in when you saw that and binned it on the last lap? Were you ecstatic or were you a bit dejected knowing that it was going to be ripped from your hands at that point?
I was like, oh, when I saw that come up, I was like, okay, I got to push here because if Scotty was on 2 warnings and he made a mistake in that chicane, it would have been a P1. But yeah, knowing that I did have that penalty, I was like, look, it's what it is. I'm going to be P2 either way. But yeah, it was different to see, especially on last lap. But yeah.
Yeah, especially after having ran a clean race pretty much the entirety of the 39 laps, and for it to happen then and there. One little bit of lack of concentration. But well, congratulations on P2, sir. Welcome
Thank you.
to tier 2.
Yeah,
How are you
thank you,
feeling?
thank you.
And real quick, how are you feeling for Jeddah next week?
Um, I'd say it's one of my better tracks. Compared to Monaco being my worst. But so I'm excited to get to it.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Well, thank you.
Now, on to our race winner, the man in the spotlight, Scotty, who has won at Monaco. You got the bragging rights for winning Monaco. How did it feel considering, I believe you qualified P4 and you're sitting P5 for most of the race?
Well, I think I'm still half speechless from that, but let's go, baby. P1. First Inters win as well. I've been around for a few seasons, so finally got that duck off me back. I still don't know how I won that, to be perfectly honest. Qualifying, I sort of put the lap of my life in. I wasn't expecting P4. I know the other guys were a second clear, but I was ecstatic with P4, and then it was just keeping it out of the walls, keeping it penalty free. So I was just pushing just enough to sort of where I sort of was able to keep pace and keep the guy sort of within that 6, 7 tenths at the DRS sort of straight. And yeah, safety car came out lap 11, perfect time for a pit stop onto the hards, and then yeah, just sort of ran my own race, then realised the two in front had penalties and then damage, which slowed them up. As I think Hader was the one that said that he was really closing up, and I was just watching that gap fall, and so I knew the idea was hopefully those two battle it up. I stay within 3, and Ludo obviously had to pick because I think his damage was quite bad, and then idea was just slowly reel Hader in, which I did with a couple of laps to go, and then on that final lap saw darkened into the wall. So knew I didn't have to do anything stupid. I actually had no warnings for the entire race. That's sort of how cautious I was driving, and yeah, picked up the victory. So yeah, I'm ecstatic. That's what I am at the moment.
Well,
Well,
that's your first Inters win, and what a better track to do at Monaco. I'm gonna assume that you're gonna be celebrating with a bit tonight over that win.
Well, it's a shame that I bloody ran a bloody uh, drink bloody last night. Might have to go out and buy some now because I wasn't expecting anything from that. Control a pad user around Monaco. Monaco's never been my strong point, so the idea was just pick up a good maybe top 6, top 10 spot. And considering how down the drain Japan went, I was just hoping to come back and have a solid result. So as I said, I'm absolutely thrilled about this. Shame for Ashton who DNF'd unfortunately earlier on. So obviously only the sole Haas team scoring, but I think I'm up to P3 in the standings now. But Battle Cat, even though he probably had one of his worst races, I think he picked up damage like 4 times, still came home to finish 7th because we only had like 9 finishes. So I'll gain a little bit to him in the championship. I think I'm about 34 points behind, so still plenty of races left to go. But as I said, great to get the win done, and obviously we'll try and do well in the next couple of races. Obviously Jeddah next week. Not a massive fan, but that can sort of turn into a carnage fest, and then Zandvoort obviously then going into the break. So hopefully we can round out this first stage, Jeddah and Zandvoort, hopefully with some more good points and maybe another podium finish.
Yeah, so just going back to Monaco race, so most of the time you're saying P5. Did your like changing your driving style as you started to see P1, letter P, he been the chicane, then it was I believe it was Grandson Nips, he been the I don't know if it was in front of you or behind you, and then his teammate also
Just
been the
behind. Yeah, just behind. Sort of the idea is Hato got me off the line, so I was P5. So you could see early on the top four was sort of romping away. I sort of had just pace. It was like me, Tetris, and then you had Nips as well, sort of in the mix. So I pretty much knew that the top four were going to romp away. It was just going to be crashes from them, maybe battling that I was going to get those positions. So once letter P crashed out, so there's one, so there's P4. So and then I knew that after the restart, just take it cautious. Knew that the top 3 had pace, and they had actually spread out for quite a while. So I figured that it was just going to be sort of a calm race to the end. I'll finish P4, great lot of points, and then saw that the guys in front picked up damage. So slowly reeling it in, and then obviously the contact happened between Ludo and Hato. Obviously, definitely helped, and then Ludo having to come in to box. Clearly, you can see how quickly those mediums were at the end, but as I said, you can defend around here. So I knew that if I just kept pushing, I think that gap was like nearly 10 seconds there. And yeah, I just managed my tyres and then had pace at the end to just close that gap down. And yeah, darkened. Really unfortunate for him. He drove a fantastic race. As it would have been a clear win for him, but Casinos caught all of us out at one point with some wear on our tyres. So again, really unfortunate for him, but glad that I was there to capitalise and pick up the points and pick up the W.
yeah. So next week, sprint round Jeddah, probably gonna be a chaos one. I assume. We'll get confirmation on what we do for the sprint format because no one has any idea at this point. How do you feel considering that you won today? Are you going to be able to continue that pace into Jeddah?
Well, wait and see. As I said, Jeddah, funnily enough, is sort of like tonight where pace isn't quite there, but because so much chaos happens in that race, I tend to get a good result there. So hopefully the same thing happens. I won't have probably the outright speed, but if I can sort of aim for that top 8 qualifying again, and just try and keep it clean, just making sure I've got the right setup. Whether I want to go a little bit more low downforce, just to sort of more race pace setup. Not 100% sure how I'm going to go with that. I'll do a few laps later on in the week, but as I said, Jeddah's usually been a good one, even if I haven't necessarily felt comfortable around there. So hopefully it should be a good one.
Yeah, so that should be all. Congrats on P1. First win of the season. Congrats on that.
First one of career.
Yeah, congrats to Hato and Ludo for P2 and 3 for this race. It was a long one. We only, I believe, got 3 VSCs or 3 safety cars. I think it was
I think it was one. I think it was one full safety car, 2 VSCs. I think we had.
the first VSC should definitely been a safety car because Ash also binned it under the VSC because I believe he had no wing. But anyway, congrats on P1, 2, and 3 to our podium sitters. Thank you to the community and the admins for sorting all this out. If this wasn't here, we wouldn't be able to stream the races, or there wouldn't be a race to stream. Thank you to all the drivers as well for showing up and almost giving us a full grid. Williams did join just as the race started, so he wasn't able to get into his car. But that should be us done. We will be here next week, or well, I'll be here. I don't know who will join me for Tier 2 next week. But we do have Monaco tomorrow for Tier 1, 5 p.m. Melbourne time, as usual. And hopefully it's a good one and less chaotic as what today was. So that's been me, Apollo Pepsi, and Ray as your commentators, and we will see you all later.